Good morning. One sec. I believe I have a settings problem. 1 second. Let's have some fun. Hang on. Is the microphone going in? It is. Okay, good. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. Good morning. How are you? So, happy Friday. I have my coffee. I have my brain. Anyway, hi. So, getting into it. Don't talk shit, Taya. Okay, so I have to apologise in advance. There is a very strong chance that I may offend some of the dudes out there and that I may get a bit ranty, but I've just kind of reached a point after 20 years in tech where I am fucking over it. And I will tell you why. And if you're one of the Dave Rubin guys, this is not about Dave Rubin. If you're one of the if you're a fan of them, it's not about the person. It's just indicative of just how frustrating it has been for me in my career. Why I reached a point where I want to quit. Why I am fucking sick to the back teeth of being stuck doing fucking pointless design work and fucking relegated to the fucking kids table in this industry over and over and over again, all because some dude doesn't listen to a fucking the fact that or believe the fact that I actually know how to solve this problem. And it's not just, oh, Dave Rubin didn't listen to me, or oh, there's history here, and I'll come back to it, and I'm going to tell you the story, right? And part of me is having a little bit of a laugh and schadenfreude about this because I have been saying for about fucking 10 years now, this is going to be a problem for you. This is going to be a problem for you. This is going to be a problem for you. And all these male engineers sitting there going, okay. You know, like I tweeted this morning, right, that it basically, okay boomer, right, feels exactly, I've basically been living with okay vagina my whole fucking life. All right? There is no conspiracy with Twitter. There is none. Okay? And just because you have a dick, it doesn't make you and use the internet or happen to have more YouTube subscribers than me doesn't mean that I don't know shit and haven't been saying this stuff for years, and I'm fucking over it. So, okay? Paul will tell you, sitting in a meeting, he has watched this, okay, where I am saying something that is fucking genius and I know how this stuff works. I am a fucking code brain. I am bright. I am capable, and I am in the wrong fucking town, right, for a start, but only to be fucking just, oh yeah, okay vagina. And then Paul says it and he gets fucking lauded as the hero and everything. And right, and I'm just as capable of fucking doing this stuff as he is. And anyway, love you, Paul. Not about you. It's not about you, Dave. It's not about any one man in particular. I'm just venting about my frustrations, which is that all these fucking middle-aged Gen X fucking men who turn around and get offended by okay boomer and then in the next breath turn around and fucking okay vagina women in tech every day. All right? And you can sit there having fucking conversations about how, oh, well, they just can't handle that, or women just choose different things. No, you do create a hostile environment that fucking makes us quit and that relegates us into the fucking role of making things pretty or being the designer, okay? Or the social media marketing chick. I'm fucking 40 years old. I've been in this industry for 23 years, right? Reducing me down to basically fucking intern when I'm one of the greatest UX and fucking digital minds that exist in this country, if not the fucking world, okay? And I've been held back because of fucking okay vagina. So there you go. I wasn't planning on ranting, but this has all come to head over this Twitter terms of service stuff, right? Again, if I had my time again, right, and and I actually was going to do this, right? Which was that I've got a degree in politics and legal studies. I did a lot of law. I was going to do law, but circumstances just meant that I didn't get my law degree done, right? I decided last year that I wanted to practice in digital law because I saw this again as the next frontier for some of these battles, and I thought, well, I want to be part of this. So I enrolled in a law degree, but then I actually realized that I was going to graduate at 48 as a baby lawyer, and I'm still stuck in this fucking town. At the end of the day, I'm still stuck in this god-awful fucking city that is full of middle-aged men who just think they know better than everyone else. So I thought, what's the fucking point of doing a law degree? What I will do is I will just do YouTube. I'll do try to get my thoughts out there, and I will write a book. The time that I'd spend trying to get a law degree done, I'd be better off just writing a book or trying to get like some sort of authority, right? Because a lot of this stuff that I've done in practice with clients, and a lot of my research, I haven't really been able to get the book done because I've been in a state of financial fucking survival my entire fucking life, right? If I had rich parents, I'd have a PhD and a book out, okay? But I don't. I just got to live and support my kids, all right? So anyway, in area of digital law. So again, it's something that I write my own contracts. I'm a very capable fucking legal mind. I'm an extremely capable political mind, and I have been in digital for 20 years, working in small business, right? Working with users, working as a designer, and also working in tech companies and corporate companies and fucking everything, right? Only to have some fucking YouTuber turn around and tell me how algorithms work. I know how they work. Right? And they sit around making these fucking conspiracy theories, right? And I literally, I make it my job. I don't get paid to do this, right? The new terms of service come out, and you know what I do? I download it. I run it through a text compare to see what's actually changed from last time, because I did that last time and I know the terms of service inside out. Okay? I did a comparison. I looked at it and I say, okay, put it through my legal brain. Again, I don't have my law degree because they're expensive and I'm 40, and there comes a point where it's just not viable. If someone wants to pay me to finish my law degree so that someone will fucking listen to me, then do that. Give me the money and I'll go and do law school, but I can't. I've got to work. But in the meantime, in my spare time, I am obsessed, and I went through the terms of service, right? I put it upon myself with the community and with my brain, which is to read all of this shit so others don't have to, and I gave it the all clear. Okay? If you'd actually been watching my video where I defended Twitter and explained how machine learning works, right? And how design works and how UX and UI work and interact with each other, and how they're trying to create a better experience for both their users and the users that are most profitable for their platform, which is the blue checks, whether you like it or not. They're the people that drive money because they drive the audience, which means they drive the ads. Okay? Now, watch that video because I'm fucking sick of just repeating myself. But anyway, I went through the terms of service. Most of it is just legal training. Again, you've got to have a legal brain to have a look at it. Some of it was just leaving out, just adding a couple of words, right? Now, you'd think that would be fucking innocuous, right? No. Okay? No one listened. Because no one watches my shit. Everyone thinks I'm just a fucking idiot. Everyone thinks that I'm incapable. And I can't help but think that it's because I'm just a fucking girl. Again, I don't know what the cause is, right? Because I'm trying to, with my journey with feminism, it's very, very hard for this to not be and feel personal and feel sexist and feel fucking am I stuttering? Right? Nobody, it's just I have post-grade qualifications. I've been in digital for 20 years. I have been doing this. I articulate myself clearly. I have tried to put myself in front of camera because I understood that nobody was reading the written word or long form. So I thought, hey, I'll make myself uncomfortable. I'll go on video, right? Then I go on video, and that's fine. It's good, right? But no one listens to me then either. Okay, and I'm going to tell you a story. And this has been my entire fucking career of engineers, right, who fucking 5 years ago, sitting in a CIC conference, right, fucking a room full of engineers getting boners over everyone's fucking data. At the time, big data was the big buzzword, right? And I turned around and I said, you shouldn't do that. People won't be happy with it, right? And blah, 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 blah. I was the only voice in the room. Okay, vagina. And then they just continued, right? And this whole fucking clusterfuck happened. I told the male web guys, you're going to have to find new ways to make money, because eventually people are going to be able to build websites themselves and we're going to be out of business. You need to find a way to change the way things are, blah, blah, blah. Guess what? Okay, vagina. Dismiss me, move on, fucking whatever. Okay, then our industry goes into crisis and gets exported to fucking India, and everyone like gets the intern on fucking Squarespace and Wix and hires fucking graphic designers to build them a Wix or Squarespace website that's a piece of shit. Okay, now, and then I have to lower my rates and expertise and fucking get, despite my seniority, I fucking have to basically sell $2,000 websites and give blowjobs for crack in a back alley, because that's the only way to make money in this fucking business without doing evil marketing shit. 5 years ago, I said, this evil marketing shit, this is evil, this is wrong, this is wrong. Guess where we are now? Okay? And this is, and again, I can't help but see the parallels between, when anybody who's in a heterosexual relationship, right, sees this, where men, they just don't listen. They don't listen. They're not listening on the fucking trans issue. They're not listening on anything that women have to say. Okay? I can't help but feel like this is sexist. And when you turn around and say it's not, that just fucking makes me more angry. Because I have done literally everything that I can do to try and get my fucking message out there over 10 years, where I have been 5 years ahead of everybody else, and I have said, this is going to happen, this is how you fix it, this is how you save Twitter, this is what you do, and guess what? It's just like, what the fuck? So anyway, I have gone off on a massive fucking rant, and I didn't expect to. But I'm just saying, like, I have sat there while fucking engineers look at me, I've got to, and I sit there and I go, you need to be ethical. I'm into ethical user experience and ethical design and ethical marketing and all of those things, right? Meanwhile, you've got a whole industry of people that are fucking rubbing their hands together over everyone's fucking dirty secrets, right? I wrote this about Ashley Madison, the Ashley Madison leak for the paper years ago, where I said, we are the gatekeepers of people's secrets, and it is not good enough to not treat that with the humility and fucking responsibility that we deserve. So anyway, I'm just going off. I'm fucking sick of this shit. I'm a fucking senior consultant. So when I talk about the change in Twitter terms of service, this is my entire life. This is my life's work. And you know what? I haven't written a book because no one will give me money to fucking write one. It's not my fault, okay? It's not my fault that I fucking was just... They've done nothing but try to survive and have been dealt a fucking unfair hand. If anyone wants to fucking pay me to write a book, then I will write the book. Then they might listen to me, but they won't, because then they just won't read it, right? How many of the fucking guys have read Invisible Women? None. So don't tell me it's not sexist, because I've literally done everything. If I was a man, I would be fucking up there, and I would be an influencer, and I would be listened to, and I would be fucking, I'd be up there with fucking Elon Musk, right? Because I've got the same fucking IQ, and I'm weird as I think like that, but I have been given none of the fucking opportunities. So anyway, that sounded really up myself. But I'm just saying, I see it, and if you're a woman in tech, you see it too. Which is that it's not about fucking, I saw Tim Pool fucking saying, oh, well, see, more men are pulling out that fucking bell curve about like genetic, like gender differences in the extremes of IQ. That's not the point. The point, that is very much based on the assumption that CEOs and CFOs and that are actually geniuses, which they're not. What the point is that there's very smart genius women being fucking working under incompetent, stupid men. Okay? If all male CEOs were actually geniuses, we could have a good discussion, but they're not, okay? I'm sick of that fucking thing. Anyway, so I'm trying not to fucking be like anti-man here. I'm speaking from a place of fucking frustration, and it's come from this Twitter terms of service thing, because I've done what I've always done for free, without any compensation, without any fucking support, off my own back, right? Always. And I get no recognition, because every time I say something, some fucking dude takes my fucking thoughts and my ideas and goes and builds a business off it and fucking takes advantage. I often joke that I've always been the muse in this business. I'm the person who, because I share ideas freely, I share ideas with love, I don't have the resources to execute them, so I give my ideas. But you know what? I always hope that it's going to come back, but it very rarely does, right? Okay, vagina, because women are just for taking, right? Women just are inspiration. They're the muse. They're the nag, right? And this just fucking shits me, because I've been through all of this stuff with YouTube bans and Twitter bans, and everyone just sitting there going, this is what's happening. And I go, that's not what's happening. This is not how machine learning works. I have moderated communities manually from fucking day one of the internet. This is not what's happening. We have a problem of scale. We have a problem of bots. Okay, now I'm going to show you some stuff. I was supposed to show it 15 minutes ago. But this is the problem that we're dealing with. And running off and like, as much as, look, I love Dave Rubin, right? I think he's great, but he's trying to sell his own platform by discrediting Twitter and he's creating the same fucking problem he's trying to fix. Same with Jordan Peterson, right? Two people who aren't in tech, right? Who they've got the money, but and they think they know what's going on, right? They could have just invested in someone who was already trying to fix this problem, or who already did it. But no, it's always about fucking creating your own shit. So Jordan Peterson's created his fucking, Dave Rubin's created his, which is basically looks like an agency that builds you an app. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. But anyway, I've signed up for both. I don't know. Like, I'm just going on information. But it's like Bender from Futurama. It's like, I'm going to build my own theme park with blackjack and hookers. It's like, no, Twitter was fine when it was 500,000 users. This is a scale. If you watch Silicon Valley, the problem is not about the app. The problem is not about the technology. The problem is not about the idea. The problem is not even in the execution or the policy. The problem is that how you do that at massive fucking scale. Okay? So you can turn around and have with your fucking 100,000 people, right? Or 1 million people even, right? And create something that works. Okay? It won't be perfect, but it creates something that works. When you come under attack with bots, right? Think about fucking Twitter as Earth, right? Trying to build a society and build democracy, keep things functioning, keep people working, keep people productive and happy and safe. And it's fucking Independence Day and all the aliens are surrounding us. That's how the bots work. Like, this is the numbers and the scale. You just don't, you need to understand what's going on here. And I'm fucking fed up that no one's listening. Even people who I have fucking shown my ability with and my knowledge with, right? Because I have not been confident on video, right? I get fucking told how it works from people who have been doing this for 2 fucking years. I've been doing it 10 times longer, okay? And because we're in such a state where I can't actually talk about my credentials and who I've worked for and what I've done and what I've created, right? Like putting a tech product out into the wild that works on every device, that keeps everyone happy, that fucking keeps everyone safe, that is spam free. It is the height of arrogance to think that you can create a platform like that. It's just arrogance. Okay? Now, this is why I'm going to defend Twitter. Because Twitter was created by somebody who didn't expect it to scale. You need to remember that it was created by someone, first of all, and Facebook as well. They were created with things where they weren't expecting to have to scale to the rate that they scaled. Okay? right? I've worked with large tech companies. They are fucking complicated. And anybody who's trying to, I was going to try, I started to create the Digital Dolphins project, right? But I realized I don't have any money, right? I can't I can't scale this. What I can do is provide boutique consulting services and maybe, but again, that relegates me down to fucking like designer and fucking web designer, because that's the only thing people think I'm capable of for some fucking reason. It's insulting. But anyway. Oh, I'm fucking fed up with this shit. Anyway. And because I also reject fucking conversion shit and marketing and all of that sort of stuff, I bite my own hand because I refuse to work with evil tech. So it's my own problem, which is the fact that I could actually be a very highly skilled, I could actually go and get a CDO position or be a head of digital, but I just actually am too ethical, and I believe that this is bad strategy, and me and CEOs usually butt heads because my job is to challenge the shit CEO, not to fucking just implement their fucking website. So that's where I'm stuck. I need a book and I need fucking audience. Okay, so you need to, seriously. Anyway, can you tell I'm struggling with money? I get angry and shit when I'm worried. We're coming up to Christmas and it's dead period, and I don't have enough I don't have enough saved, and I'm very panicky. Anyway, so my point was, okay, so I read the terms of service, said, no, it's fine. What I know they're doing, Twitter have been open. And again, another thing I need to say is that Twitter, they're faced with a problem where they can't be fully transparent about all of the signals that they use, because people are like, Twitter's not transparent. They can't be. Because then you've got fucking bots and software and fucking shit. They're constantly fighting against this army of fucking spam and bots and fake news and fucking shit. It's not Russian bots, right? That's a very simplistic way to look at it, right? We're talking about spam bots. We're talking about fucking troll bots. We're talking about stuff, DDoS attacks constantly. We're talking about hacking. There's so many fucking threats, and I'm going to show you the numbers. Okay, with YouTube, there is 500 hours of video uploaded every 10 minutes. All right, it is impossible to manually review something at that volume, right? There are billions and billions of tweets per hour. Okay, this is not possible. Even if you hired every person on earth to moderate Twitter, you couldn't do it. This is what people don't get. Someone who thinks they fucking run their YouTube comments on their fucking channel of, whatever. It's a micro community. Again, socialism, communism, that works with a community of 100 people who are all communists. But it doesn't scale. It's the same fucking problem, okay? Anyway. You can see the things that get me fucking going, can't you? I just feel pissed off that no one's listening to me, right? And in fairness, right, it was good because I actually had a conversation. I expected the bros to come after me when I replied to Dave Rubin and said, actually, that's not how it works. It's not a conspiracy, right? And I actually had some conversations with some good people over it. So, I'm not talking about everybody, but I'm talking about these people. It's actually, okay, I love you guys, but you fucking conservative dudes, you need to stop denying your own sexism, okay? All right? And if it's not sexism, then you're being a dick to everybody. You need to listen to people who are maybe experts in things, okay? Now, so, okay, screen share. So in the context of this, I've been doing this for nothing my entire fucking career because I'm interested in it. Reading contracts, reading terms of service. I write my own contracts. I'm passionate about it. I've thought to the point where I just really would like to practice digital law, but I'm just too old to do it now, right? Too old and too poor to fucking just do it, right? And, I'm sitting there and I'm like, no, it was fine, right? Okay, and here we go. Shadow banning, now officially in Twitter, terms of service. And this is somebody with how many followers, right? And the thing that pisses me off is that they've got large audiences of people who are prone to conspiracy theories to begin with. So, and also, let's not forget, he's trying to promote his own network, okay? Again, it's not about Dave. I like Dave Rubin, and I'm not having a go. This is just a good example of how this fucking happens, right? Which is, but this was the tweet that fucking incensed me, right? Because this is not true. This is objectively just not true. The reason that conservatives are caught in the net and banned more often than the wokes, as I explained in my previous video, is because they behave like bots more. And I'll get to that, okay? So this, again, I read this and I went, oh yeah, that's the only thing that I think will be contentious, right? But I knew that was happening. But it's what he claimed here, which was last year when I spoke to Twitter reps, they lied and gaslight us about their targeted manipulation of people's tweets, right? Now it's in their new ToS. And that is not true. And do you know why that's not true? Because Twitter fucking went on a press blitz over this fucking health stuff. Okay? Look. Okay, hang on. Where are we? May 15th, 2018, sorry. Twitter will begin hiding all tweets from suspect accounts. That's all they're doing. I explained this. It's a design decision to make the user experience more palatable so that people are logging in so that they can sell ads. It's not fucking... This is... Twitter announced with an official fucking release, right, about the health of the platform and that they're going to start using lots of different signals, serving healthy conversation. Okay? How much more transparent do they need to be about what they're doing? The reason they can't fucking be completely transparent is because as soon as it's like with, because I've worked with, obviously with Google SEO for like most of my career and those sorts of things, you can't tell because there's always people the black hats and people, the bad people, and people will manipulate the system. Platform manipulation has been a problem since year fucking dot. Right? And the problem with Google is that the second that they announce that they'd love, you know what? Again, this is this fucking thing where people have this rosy view and they assume that everyone behaves the same way that they do, right? They do the right thing. No. Do you know how often I'm approached to go, how can you get number one on Google? Get number one on Google, number one on Google. Do you know, do you know how many fucking, let's not talk about like even like AdWords and Google and platform manipulation and fucking click farms, right? That inflate your AdWords. Like that's a whole other fucking conversation. I'm only talking about Twitter today. This is an ongoing problem. And unless you've been in an agency or unless you've been a pro for as long as I have and seen these decisions have been accumulated. It's kind of like what I was saying yesterday, right? Where everyone's like, oh, well, it shouldn't be that way. It's like, it is that way. For a reason, there's history, which is the fact that we have rule of law, we have all of these things to prevent mob rule because we know that this happens, okay? We should be, socialism can work. No, it can't. It's been proven not to work. That's why we have all these things in place where we can't do that. This is the fucking compromise because we learn from history. It's the same thing. And it's like Twitter have been around long enough to have learned from history and they have adapted and they're trying to do things at scale that no one has ever done before. This is unprecedented stuff. They're going to make mistakes. Okay, so they announced it. They can't be fully transparent about their platform because fucking that that just makes the problem worse, because the bot farms and all of the fucking engineers that are working in all the dodgy and the fishers and fucking all of these people, right, and criminals, if they know how it works, they'll fucking create programs that work around it and fucking null and void the problem. So they need to not have so much transparency. They're doing the best they fucking can. And I'm sorry if my mic is distorted, but I really just... This was announced, okay? There were several articles about it, all right? Twitter will begin hiding all tweets from suspect accounts. They have been as open as they can possibly be, right? And again, look, Twitter is expanding the signals it uses to detect bad behavior, okay? They're being as honest and open as is possible. Now, I need to qualify what I'm saying, which is that doesn't mean there's not other factors, such as manual employees at Twitter who have a particular bias, but that's not the system. I'm talking about the automated machine learning part of this. I'm saying that when you read the policy and you read the terms of service through a fucking trained eye, right? And I'm not saying I've got a trained eye because I'm not legally trained, but I have enough fucking legal brain and business law and all of that stuff to at least have understood what the potential meanings of that are, right? Now, I'm going to talk about the signals again, because they exist. You can't just sit around claiming a conspiracy theory, right, and making these claims, right? Okay, so this is the article from, I'll link to these articles in the post, and I've been yelling, I apologise. Let me just calm down. Twitter will begin hiding all tweets from suspect accounts, which is what I talked about, which was the user interface, making it so that there's more incentive to log in. And once a thread goes off, or once you start getting dogpiled, it is ugly. And so they're trying to find a way where you can still enjoy Twitter and people can still reply to you, and you get some control over whether you receive a fucking tirade of abuse or not. Okay? And also, I just want you to know, it's not your right to abuse people on Twitter. It's not your right to call people names. It's not your right. Okay? I talked about this. This does make people kill themselves. This hurts people. It hurt friends of mine. Okay? And I'm not unsympathetic to the problem, but like, we're not going to get anywhere if people just keep having a sook, like behaving the way that I've said, which is that you shouldn't be replying like... Anyway, I'll go through this, but there's fucking think tanks dedicated to this. This comes from this comes from credible places, right? And if you resemble a bot and all of the signals show that you're a bot and a bad behavior, and you do bad behavior, and you're anonymous and you follow all of these fucking other bots and you constantly retweet each other, then don't be fucking surprised, because I've told you. And if you're a dude and you're just going, okay, vagina, then fucking, if you get banned, then fucking whatever. Okay? I've been saying this shit for years. I'm always right because I take the time and I know this thing inside out. And yes, Twitter has some bias. Yes, there are problems with the way that the human moderation and the bias, and there is bias there. But this is not the problem. Machine learning is fucking the bulk of... It's not a conspiracy. It's a fucking machine. All right, look, Hanlon's razor. Never attribute to malice that which can be adequately explained by stupidity. That's what's happening here, okay? Twitter is too big for a conspiracy. They're too siloed for a conspiracy. They are dealing with problems at scale. Yes, they are in the pocket of blue check Twitter. They are in the pocket of the journalists, but that's because they bring the audience, okay? They bring the audience because Twitter is built around fans and blue checks, and blue checks have fans, and that brings users, and that fucking, like, that's how it is. They bring the ad dollars. Okay? It's how it is. It's not a conspiracy. It's fucking capitalism, and it's fucking tech, and it's just how things... Anyway... Here's an article. Again, I'll link to it. It's actually quite useful. It is only on Medium, which, again, whatever. But This is some ways to spot a bot. And these are some of the signals, right? Oh, actually, sorry, I was going to do this first, which was this, okay? Twitter have not lied about shadow banning. They have changed the interface to make it safer because it is toxic and it is full of trolls and bots and is ugly. Okay? Bloody Sky just commented, so should Twitter and Facebook start to verify users' identities? Would that fix some of these issues or hurt revenues too much? The answer is yes, they should, and that's part of the problem, is that they've actually, another problem is that their verification program is naive, and first of all, it's not open. They've closed it because I think they're reviewing it. And second of all, you know, like someone like myself, where you get that, to be honest with you, I'd pay $100 a year to use Twitter. And I think most people would. It's a great marketing tool, right? And I'm not saying that to create some sort of caste system, but at the same time, there is one anyway, right? At least if I'm paying $100 a year and the ability to get human review or, you know, some sort of like someone to just go, oh, this algorithm, the machine learning, like this is what I meant. Okay, this is what I meant to say, and in the context of this, I apologize. Can we work this out? They then take that information, feed that back into the fucking machine learning so that the machine learning gets smarter. And that's how the justice system works. That's how precedent works. It's basically common law, right? So in common law, that law has evolved because it's constantly, there's judgments. That's very much how machine learning works, except right now we're in fucking 1600s. And there's no case law and no ability to challenge it, which is they're just sort of passing the buck into the legal system rather than creating their own little ecosystem where you can go, okay, this is what I meant. I got caught in the net. Here's why. Can you maybe adjust that behavior? Like for me, I believe there should be some sort of amnesty for people who were signed up early, because it's going to take longer for us to adjust to the new way Twitter does things, because we're used to a certain way, right? My video, we built this city on rock and trolls, I talk about that, where it changed, right? But yes, verification is one thing, and I would be happy to pay for verification, right? That's Gab's model, which I think, I hope Twitter makes that open, right? Where you get some level of protection, okay? I think they've got enough critical mass where people would quite happily pay for that. And I just, honestly, I think most people would, because it's a great marketing platform. It provides great value. And I would pay for the ability to talk to an account manager, right? That's what Google have. If you're an agency or a partner or a client, and Twitter as well. So don't forget, okay, this is actually side point. One thing that you've got to think about with blue tech journos, with the Guardian thing that happened this week, don't forget that the Guardian are also a client of Twitter. Okay, so what they have is an account manager, so they can massage those relationships. I'm AdWords certified and a few other things. We were going to go through Google. We're Google partners in some ways, but we haven't been doing it for so long, so I don't think we are. But when you're a Google partner and you spend money on their ad platform, you have an account manager, right? And that's the same thing with the Guardian. So the Guardian has access to Twitter. The problem is that your average user doesn't have any avenue of appeal unless they know somebody at Twitter, okay, or somehow can, like, and that's not okay. There needs to be an avenue of appeal. And if Twitter Twitter won't watch this, but if they happen to, it would be good if there was some way of designing a program where I can access an account manager, okay, because my account is banned from advertising for some reason, right? I've talked about that previously. It's probably because of the swearing. But, you know, you got to understand how this works agency side. So anyway, I know I went on a tangent, but I think it's important to know that it's not, again, they're not favouring a belief. Like the Guardian journos are in a big conspiracy, okay? The Guardian would spend many millions of dollars in promoted posts, right? They have tremendous power, right? The advertising agencies that also work with the Guardian are partners of Twitter and spend millions and millions of dollars. They have an account manager. They have someone they can call. That's the difference, okay? It's access, Okay, it's access to a process. It's about access, not necessarily about the idea. I keep saying this. It's not the belief, it's the behavior, and it's the process. Okay. Anyway, so I know this is long, but I feel like I'm sort of, it's a hurt. I think it's a value. So, but I'm just going to say, so this is from 2018, right? Which is wired.com. Twitter were open about all of this. It's not a fucking conspiracy. They haven't denied shadow banning. It's a design decision it's a user experience decision. Okay, user experience it's called human-centered design, which means that you put the user at the center of all of your design decisions. Okay, and on a platform like Twitter where it gets toxic. Okay, especially blue checks, like I talked about my thing with Graham Linehan and Donald Trump. Those are two particularly fucking toxic accounts. They needed to address this problem with design, but while still allowing people to participate. Right? If you get your 12-hour ban, if you're not sitting there reflecting on why and how, or if you know someone who gets a 12-hour ban, fucking send them this video, right? Okay, or send them the article, because they will get to understand and they'll go, okay, well, now I know how to adjust my behavior. If you're acting in good faith, right, you know how to adjust your behavior. All right, I won't reply to people to blue checks who follow me back with swearing anymore, because I know that's a signal. Right? I'm not going to be following back people who are constantly saying, but you're a man, but you're a man, but you're a man, over and over again, because I realize that I get that stink on me. Okay? I want to swear, right? I've sat there and I've weighed this up, and I want to be able to be funny and have comic freedom and freedom of expression, right? But you can't do that in all circumstances, and there's things that I need to let go in order to do what I want to do. And it ultimately makes me a better writer. It makes me better at Twitter, and it makes the platform less toxic, right? I'm receiving less hate. I'm sure you are too, right? So the bannings are working in both directions. I haven't received any real sexist shit in a long time, okay? The health of the conversations has gotten substantially better, right? Especially by not diving into a hornet's nest deliberately, okay? If you dive into the hornet's nest deliberately, it's on you. Like you fucking... Anyway. Okay, vagina. So, again, I just want to point out, I'll share these, but the Twitter announced this. They've been as open as they can. Okay? Those tweets, I'm reading out a paragraph, right? Those tweets are deemed to be disruptive, in quotes. But that don't... Sorry. Let me start again. Okay, those whose tweets, I've got cortisol flowing through my veins. I opened with the man hating. Anyway, so those whose tweets are deemed to be, quote, disruptive, unquote, but that don't violate Twitter's policies outright, will be secluded at the bottom of a conversation thread or search result to make room for more productive and respectful conversations. Sounds good to me. It's not newspeak, by the way, right? This is design. It's just Hanlon's razor, all right? This is just design thinking. It's not a fucking... Some of the new signals Twitter will consider include whether you've confirmed your email address, whether you created multiple accounts from the same IP address, and whether you're frequently blocked by accounts you interact with. And this is something that I want to talk about, because that's how trans rights activists and SJWs game the system, right, to make it look like you are blocked, because they use block lists, right? I'm on 60 of them. And that's actually a signal to Twitter that your account is a bot. It is not... they use it deliberately. They are savvy. They are so fucking resourced, and they understand this stuff. Maybe I should join them, because they actually fucking know what I know, and nobody who I fucking talk to listens to me. Okay? So what you need to start doing is creating block lists yourself. Actually, to be honest, I wouldn't participate. I would rise above, because I hope that Twitter deals with block list abuse, right? Anyway, whether you're frequently blocked by accounts you interact with, and that's where those turf blocker and that Chrome plugin, I believe that the next round of major updates, that will be considered a breach of terms. I'm hoping that they'll use abusive lists because, again, Jack has talked about how list abuse, right, using lists to abuse and to abuse people is actually is something that they're looking at, and they're aware of it. So again, benefit of the fucking doubt. Okay, so they're using the block lists, right, to game the system. Machine learning, because they know this. Because they know it's not a great big fucking conspiracy. They know that it's a fucking dumbass machine because Twitter engineers that they know, right, have told them how it works, so they know how to game the system. And that's why they can't be transparent. That's why they can't be transparent with everybody, because everybody fucks it up for everyone. Okay. So tweets that get filtered this way, as long as they don't violate Twitter's policies, won't be removed, but you will have to click show more replies or elect to show everything in your search settings in order to view them. Okay, that's good. Twitter's lack of transparency around its filtering mechanisms might be justified, but it also helps to fuel conspiracy theorists. This is from 1.5 years ago. How many times do I need to say it? Okay? Okay, vagina. Okay, wired. Okay, Twitter. Okay, boomer. Like, they're saying it. They're open. Fuck. Okay, Twitter is expanding the signals it uses to detect bad behavior. I've talked about some of these before, right? Okay? And again, look, some troll-like behavior is fun, good, and humorous coming from Twitter. They're not saying they don't have a sense of humor. They're saying that the fucking computers can't read it. According to, okay, some troll-like behavior is fun, good, and humorous. That's the basis of the platform. That's how the platform was built. Okay? Listen to the product managers, okay? Product management is a good fucking gig. Can I be a product manager at Twitter, please? Does anybody know anybody? Can I be in charge of fucking verification or something? Because Jesus Christ, man. Anyway. Anyway, so what we're talking about today are troll-like behaviors that distort and detract from the public conversation on Twitter. But you're a man though, you're a man though, you're a man though, you're a man though, you're a biological man, you're a biological man, you're a biological man. Oh, feminazi, feminazi, feminist, feminist, fucking feminist, feminist. Oh my God, feminist, feminist. Make America great again, make America... See? If you're behaving like that, then that disrupts the conversation, okay? Some of these accounts and tweets violate our policies, and in those cases we take action on them. Others don't, but are behaving in ways that distort the conversation. Right? Okay. All right, so Serving Healthy Conversation, 15th of May, 2018. Read it. Here's some stats. Actually, no, hang on, look. So this is, I'm going to actually go, I'll do this one first. So this is a useful article, 12 ways to spot a bot, right? This is the basics, right? And I can see why people get banned. I know why. Because they look like fucking bots. Okay? So, you know, a Twitter bot is simply an account run by a piece of software analogous to an airplane being flown on autopilot. As autopilot can be turned on and off, accounts can behave like bots and like human users at different times. The clues should therefore be viewed as indicators of bot-like behavior. I said they're not the belief, it's the behavior. And the right behave like bullies in a different way. Their behavior, they like to pile on to the SJWs, and the SJWs just block them. And then they're on a block list, and then they look like trolls who are blocked, who have anonymous accounts, who have fucking all this shit, and then they get banned because they think they're bots. Okay? There's no bias. Okay. And again, I'm not talking about individual cases. There are some like individual exceptions to this, but I'm just saying, okay? So, the most obvious indicator that an account is automated is its activity, okay? This can be readily calculated by looking at its profile page and dividing the number of, there's formulas, right? And dividing the number of posts by the number of days it's been active. To find the exact date of creation, hover the mouse over the joined entry. So this, again, there's a whole there's studies on this, right? So the Oxford Internet Institute, I recommend you, if you're interested in this stuff, you follow them and read their stuff. But again, the computational propaganda team, it's almost like people know stuff, again, right, who study and research this stuff. They view an average of more than 50 posts a day as suspicious, right? I believe that Twitter used 50, but I can't remember. I might be a little bit more than that. That's what actually happened with the, what was it? The other day when they were supporters were tweeting out the same phrase in support, and because they were doing it at scale. And it's the same thing with Markiplier's YouTube account getting them all banned because he asked them to vote on emojis, and they were like fucking hammering with emojis. So that just flags this. It goes flag bot. Okay, ban them all. Okay, that's how it works. So don't be a fucking idiot. Okay. So that's just So the second Q is anonymity, okay? So a second key indicator is the degree of anonymity an account shows. In general, the less personal information it gives, the more likely it is to be a bot. And that's why I just keep going with my real name, and I make sure that it's got my face on it, and I make sure that it's got a link to my website on it. I mean, that's also because I use it as my audience building, but there's a risk with that. But also, if you're anonymous, that's a fucking signal, okay? Look at this. See, how many of these accounts look at your Twitter account and see if it looks like a bot, and then you might start to understand why you're being banned all the time. 3, amplification. Okay, now this is where the tribalism comes in. So one thing I've noticed with the gender critical crew and the feminists and stuff is that you will say something that they agree with and it will fucking travel. Okay, so the third key indicator is amplification. So one main role of bots is to boost the signal from other users by retweeting, liking, or quoting them, right? And this is where I think I've fallen afoul a little bit, because I write stuff under my own name, but I tend to get a lot of retweets and likes. Like I tend to get about 300, 400 if I'm really sort of trying. My ratios are pretty good, right? But actually, yeah, Bloody Sky just commented, I'd advocate putting a maximum on the number of posts per day. It would reduce trolling and force people to increase the quality of their content. That's actually not a terrible idea. It's not a terrible idea at all. And maybe if you are going through the verification process, at least maybe it's actually limited for free accounts. And maybe that's something that they need to do, is that you can only tweet. Well, I could talk about this. I actually had, I wrote something. I don't know if I've still got it, but I wrote a paper when Twitter was struggling to be profitable. I actually wrote an article. I didn't publish it. I just wrote it. It might be in my Evernote. How to Save Twitter, which I think that actually what you would do is put micropayments for replies at blue checks. So, you can pay. So it becomes, that's a way that creators can monetize. So you become verified, and then in order to say, let's say you want to tweet Ricky Gervais, because anyone can just because I think it benefits everybody. But anyway, I could probably, I'll write that. But I've got very clear ideas on how you could fix this platform without the reliance on advertising, because advertising is actually the thing that's the problem, because advertisers have legal standards and they need to be sort of G-rated, basically. Everything has to be G-rated, and that's part of the problem that we're having at the moment is micro-targeting and inappropriate ads, and so everybody suffers. And once the advertisers and advertising agencies and media buyers have less of a say on what's acceptable, I'm pretty sure that the platform, if there are other ways to monetize, and this is what YouTube are doing very well. I think this is where YouTube are going, and it's interesting to watch. But Twitter need to find a way other than advertising and other than like PPC to make money. And I think that micropayments, in order for high-profile celebrities to engage with fans who are willing to pay to talk to them, and they get a cut of that, and then you pay a fee to be part of that verification program. That could clean up the platform quite substantially, right? So, because I would quite happily pay, to be able to talk to Ricky Gervais and have it be seen, and you know, be able to say what I want with him and make a joke and riff without it being caught up in the net and, you know, that sort of stuff. So there's ways to do this that are a bit smarter, and I'm sure that they're working on it, right? I don't have a moustache. It just looks like a shadow today. I do have a little bit of one, but it's just the lighting. Anyway, sorry. Okay, so but yeah, so there's multiple ways to solve the problem, but you've just got to understand that this is like, if it looks like a bot, you're going to get banned. Okay, so amplification. So this is something where I think I've also been caught up a little bit, right? Which is that because, well, I think I'm pretty okay at Twitter, but I get retweeted by people who are, you know, they misbehave a bit. Okay. Yes, it's not the belief, it's the behavior. Okay. I'm not like people on the right, whatever. If I say something, they agree. It travels, right? I just have this ability to just articulate something, right? Now, so that looks like an amplification. So that gives people signals that maybe I've bought, well, first of all, that I've bought followers or that I've bought retweets. Because again, don't forget that there's also these platforms where you can buy followers and buy likes and all that sort of stuff. And I'm always constantly testing those things. Look, I know this stuff inside out, right? You can't buy followers on Twitter, right? They're fucking on it. And I wasn't going, it's only, every so often what I do is I'll go and buy a few just to see what's going on. Not on my own, I've got another, I've got a different account that I've tested on. But I'll buy like 100 and just see what happens. And most of them, they can't do it. So that's good, right? It's good news. But again, but you can also buy retweets and likes and follows and all those sorts of things. So those signals do actually make a difference. Okay, now, the ratios are another signal, right? So anyway, so again, it's about patterns. All right, now, so let's just blah, blah, blah. Low posts, high results is the next one, okay? So the bots achieve their effect by the massive amplification of content by a single account. Another way to achieve the same effect is to create a large number of accounts which retweet the same post once each. And that's called a botnet, right? And that was the old way of doing it. Okay, now they're easy. That was the old school way of doing stuff. You could always tell when that happened, right? It's fucking when I remember when some of these like social media experts of 2010 who just decided that they would like just set up everyone's social media account and then retweet everyone, and it's like, you're an idiot. Anyway, let's not go there. But yeah, so I had many a quiet conversation with people telling them not to do that because it makes them look like bots. And that was 10 years ago. Okay, vagina. Anyway, so as the above image shows, it's a low activity account, but they retweet each other, right? Again, LinkedIn has this problem with pods. Okay, so they're groups, they sell memberships and those sorts of things, and they all boost each other's stuff, right? And it games the algorithm and it makes it look more popular than it is. This isn't a constant fucking problem. This is all the stuff that happens in the background that you just don't know about. All right, now I want to try and do an interview with Mike Winnett actually, because he'll talk about pods on LinkedIn. So number 5 is common content. So the probability that accounts belong to a single network can be confirmed by looking at their posts, right? If they all post the same content or type of content at the same time, they're probably programmed to do so. Now you can see how the MAGAs and the fucking gender criticals and the people who are tweeting on a single issue are going to get caught up here. You may notice, right, that I pepper my tweets, right? I try to make sure that I don't tweet about one issue too much because I know this. So that, again, okay, because I'm on all these block lists and I swear, right, and I follow everybody, okay, I understand that there's always a risk that I could be targeted and banned, and I don't want to, okay, and I want to keep my swearing, and I want to be able to fucking, But anyways, so another signal, so 6, the secret society of silhouettes. So that's where, again, the most primitive bots are easy to identify, right? Because they're the eggs. You call them the eggs. And then 7, stolen or shared photo, okay? Other bot makers are more meticulous and try to mask their anonymity by taking photos from other sources. A good test of an account's veracity is therefore to reverse search its avatar picture. Again, you're using avatars, you're using something else, you're using a stolen image, or you're using something like I use my profile pictures link in my website. And if you look at my profile, the internet's they're not stupid, right? They know this, right? My face is on my website and on my LinkedIn profile. So on my Twitter account, it says this is me, right? The problem is that I should be able to get verified on that basis. That's the thing that fucking pisses me off, because first of all, I've been published in the paper, right? Second of all, I am, anyway, what the fuck? They've got to fix the verification program. I know I've gone really long, but this might be of value. So, but again, so can see why. And they're not dumb, right? They can see whether it's reversed out, smoothed over, filtered. Okay? Fucking Hollywood, if anything, they are investing billions of dollars in deepfake detection, piracy detection, derivative work protection. The sophistication of YouTube's copyright fucking thing is amazing. You should be impressed by this and cheering this on, not fucking saying that they're fucking... It's not a conspiracy theory. It's awesome. It's amazing what we've managed to achieve in the last decade. Like, fuck, some credit, all right? So it's all these things, okay? And number 8 is bots in a name. A further indicator of probable botness is the handle, right? Many bots have handles which are simply alphanumeric scrambles generated by an algorithm. See those two, right? Okay. And there you go. Twitter 9, and number 9 is Twitter of Babel. Some bots are political and only ever post from one point of view. Others, however, are commercial and seem hired out to the highest bidder regardless of the content. Most of their posts are apolitical, but they too can be used to boost political tweets. So these are botnets, right? And basically, if they're tweeting, so basically what that means is that you be tweeting on one topic about one business for, a month, and then suddenly the focus of your entire account shifts, right? Now, I can see how I might have been flagged because I actually took a big break from Twitter and then suddenly got active again in the feminist space and started following some of this stuff with Unive and all that sort of stuff. So I can see how that might have also, the machine learning spidey senses, right? All those signals might have actually contributed, right? And again, it's the behavior. So, automation software, right? So another clue. So you could using URL shorteners. There's all these signs. Use again, Twitter. See what app you use to actually post. Like at the bottom of every tweet, it's a Twitter for iPhone. The location. There's all of these signals, right? Who you follow, who you interact with, whether you have a conversation. Also, whether you DM and use the DM feature, right? All of these things, okay? Not to mention, there's this fucking... Don't behave like a bot and you'll be fine, okay? Now, retweets and likes is another one, okay? But again, just read the article. I've gone too long. But again, so this is and again, I just want to give you some numbers, right? Just to give you some perspective, right? Platform manipulation. This is from Twitter, right? This year, January to June 2019. I'm interested to see what the next year's report. And again, back to what I was saying before, I will read it and I will talk about it and I will distill it. And what I say might have some authority to it. But sure, why don't you just ask me to fucking make you anyway, can anyone pay me to be a consultant? I am giving fucking the design equivalent of hand jobs for crack work-wise at the moment. You have no idea, right? I keep being treated like an idiot fucking mid-level designer when I'm anyway. Okay. So, platform manipulation refers to the use of Twitter to mislead others and or disrupt their experience by engaging in bulk, aggressive or deceptive activity. This prohibited activity includes, but is not limited to, spam, malicious automation, and inauthentic account abuse, right? Now, Look at this. So challenges, right? In the first half of 2019, there were 97,123,677 accounts challenged, right? So that means that the machine learning picked up that behavior and those signals. That's how many accounts, not tweets, accounts, okay, were flagged by Twitter's algorithm, right? This is how many were reported. 3 million. So that's the human report. That's who's been reported. And this is for spam, not for hateful conduct. That's a different thing. Okay. Now, this is the algorithm. This is machine learning working. Okay. So they're looking at all these signals that I've talked about before, right? And they're picking it up in January, 19.5 million. Okay. February, 17 million. March, 16.5 million. Accounts. Spam accounts that were picked up, and like this fucking conspiracy bullshit, you know, and this, right, is what's happening, okay? Which is that if it walks like a duck, it tweets like a duck. It might not be a duck, it might be a goose, but it's probably but Twitter thinks it's a duck, okay? So think about your behavior. If you're, you know, like fucking start using your real name and toning it down. Okay, but if you create sock puppet accounts and start fucking, you know, yelling at trans people that they're fucking men, you don't be fucking surprised. It's not a great conspiracy. Or if you're on the fucking right and you're a fucking MAGA dude and like, or God and Jesus and shit, right? And you're going to, that's, you know what? That is how it works. I know, and again, I'm just going to say, I know that by putting this video out, I'm going to get dudes explaining shit to me. I also know that if I say something, I'm going to get men who attack me. I know that if I say XYZ, I'm going to get this response, right? If you, Albert Einstein, the definition of insanity, right, is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. That's just this is the scale of the problem, and also so basically, shadow banning is not a conspiracy. Okay, it means that your account has been flagged as suspect, right? And every so often you'll get reported, and you'll get your 12-hour suspension. Okay, because you're already suspect based on your behaviour. It's not just the one tweet. Okay, what's going to happen? And also then what happens is, I've talked about this before, which is with the TRAs and the people who know how to manipulate this, they will mass report you. So they get you on first they get you on the block list, okay? Then they get you fucking shadow banned, right? You get angry, you tweet back at them, it becomes a shit fight, right? They mass report until you're a mob boss that goes a serial killer who's fucking taken in for a broken taillight. They get you on at real Donald Trump, send nudes like I got my suspension, okay? Or they get you on. You see what I mean? Like this. Okay. I hope that this actually gets watched because it's an hour and 7 minutes and I know that people don't watch that long. But please, there is no fucking conspiracy here. There are other problems, all right? I can talk about other things. Obviously, that's not all of the things that are going on. Yes, there are people with personal relationships. They get on the phone, they talk to Twitter, right? And they get someone banned, okay? But when you're talking about the volume here, okay, the vast majority of the stuff where you're banned for no reason, right, unless you're targeted for a specific thing by someone at Twitter or a particular group or a particular group of advertisers. You know, don't forget that like the LGBT movement have a lot of money in, again, there's a lot of LGBT NFPs that will have the same thing as The Guardian, where they can ring up an account manager and say, this guy's got to go, right? And then there's also Twitter engineers with particular, the people, that's any organization, right? You call in a favor with your mates. If something happened to eBay or something happened at PayPal or Facebook with me, because I know people, the first thing I would do is fucking call them and see what they can do and see, you know, like, I should tell you the time that I wrote a fucking email to the CIO of eBay because I was pissed off at, you know, again. But if you're a vendor, right? If you've been a vendor, which I have, like a couple of times, and it doesn't work the way you think it does. And listen to me, okay? Fucking hell. Now I've got to go build. Now I've got to go make some banners. Because that's where my skills apparently make money. Give me money. Get me on bigger fucking audiences and stuff where I can rant. Because it's just not how it works. Or help me write a book. Because I have all of this knowledge. My life sucks. I'm sick and I'm poor. And I can't do what's my passion. Anyway, I know this stuff. All right? And also, I'm just laughing my ass off at all the dudes that don't like hearing "Okay, Boomer" because my entire fucking life is "Okay, Vagina." Right, sitting in conferences where I say things from expertise and they go, oh, okay. And then it all goes to shit. Like nothing was funnier than fucking me when Cambridge Analytica happened because I sat there and I remember I sat in front of the Women's Parliamentarians Conference when they didn't even know what Twitter was in 2010 and I said, this is going to be used for fucking dodgy purposes. You better be on top of it. And they just went, oh, no, it's fine. Oh, it's a fucking Twitter. It's all fine, Taya. Oh, that's just Taya. She's just crazy. She's hysterical. What does she fucking know? Okay, I'm telling you, there's no conspiracy. All right? Creating your own platform is fine, but you're going to end up with fucking 10,000 users and it's not the same problem. Okay? It's not the same problem because you don't have to scale it. You don't have to do... It's not about free speech. Fuck. Also, can bros with money who aren't in tech stop making tech? Or can they give people like me money for all the apps and fucking shit that I come up with but I can't make because I've got no money. So I just give everyone else my idea and let them run with it and then they don't give me the fucking credit. Anyway. I love you. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you for your precious 5 seconds. If you want to support me, go to tayasmith.com.au. I have Patreon, PayPal, and Subscribestar. And I'm going to piss off a bunch of dudes with this one, I think. And also, I'm sorry, Dave Rubin, and I'm sorry, Konstantin, and I'm sorry, all of the fucking awesome dudes that have mansplained me recently. I know you don't mean it. But this is my entire life. I'm just I've done everything right. And I'm still just treated like a fucking moron. And I can only conclude that it's either my wonderful personality or the men don't listen to women. Right? We say things 10 times and then they go, well, and then suddenly you're yelling and they go, well, why didn't you say it nicely? I fucking did 10 times. It's like that. Okay? I'm saying this 10 times. There's no conspiracy. It's just machine learning. Learn how machine learning works. And Twitter didn't fucking deny shadow banning. It's just not shadow banning. It's a user interface improvement that every decent fucking design team would do because they're trying to protect the users and the advertisers and the experience of those who use the fucking platform. It's not your right to turn around and call everyone fucking names. I love you. Bye. Thank you for watching and thank you for chatting. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend. I will be back on Monday. I'm doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm sticking with the Digipolitik thing, but it's still under my name. I might do a slight little rejig of the branding over the weekend, but please if you know anybody who could if you know a publisher who wants to get, let me write. I've got a chapter, I've got sample chapters that I can do. I just don't have the resources. I just, I need to be able to survive, and then I get out of the cortisol out of my system when it comes to survival, and I can sit and I can finish the book and I can do all of the things that I want to do. And I'm stuck. And I'm also sick, so I can't like work full time. So it's kind of, I have to do this on my own. But anyway, I'm not a grifter. I'm defending Twitter. Just fucking, can people who aren't in tech, they have more money than sense, please just talk to the people who are in tech. Don't just throw your money around and go off and create your own fucking theme parks. Like blackjack and hookers. Fucking Bender. In fact, forget the park. All right. Joshua, he said, crap, these comments show up on the screen later than I sent it, making me look like a troll. No, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, it's all good. I did try putting on slow mode today just to see what would happen, because that fucking thing from Wednesday where he was jerking off on my feed, and I didn't realize, because I can't read and speak clearly at the same time, and then it was only when we watched it back that I was like, oh my god, this dude's totally masturbating on my video. It was so gross. So if you're going to masturbate, by the way, at least fucking give me some money. That's so gross. Like, why? I was talking about fucking autocracy and politics and mob rule. So if that gets you off, like, that's niche content, man. You got to give me some money. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thank you for your precious, precious life seconds. I love you. Let's love each other. And the sky is not falling, fuckers. Bye.